Will Howard was a guy we talked about yesterday when we talked about Quinn Ewers, saying if they don't take Will Howard to dinner the night before, do you kind of rule him off the list of possibilities for the Steelers? Are you thinking that it's fake hype around him? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But he went out to dinner with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So did Judkins and Henderson. You want to know who did not? The guy that I think everybody has mentioned 100 times more than any of those names when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The only one of the group that is a solidified first-round pick, and the only one of the group that I think a lot of people listening, watching, or just in the Steelers nation in general would sit here and say they'd feel pretty good about being the 21st pick in the NFL draft. Well, he was not at dinner. And maybe he was with another team and just declined the invite from the Steelers and said, guys, you don't even have a quarterback. Why would I go to dinner with you guys? You don't Skylar Thompson throw me the football in a year? No chance, pal. I'm going to Vegas or I'm going with whoever. Emeka Egbuka was not at dinner. The Steelers held or hosted, according to Jerry Dulac, Will Howard, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson. They did not take the wide receiver who ran somewhere between a 4.44 and a 4.49 and looked really slow doing it, but it was a weird camera angle by our boy Nick Fairbaugh at his pro day. A dude who I'm very high on. Some others aren't. A guy who, if they drafted him in the first round with the 21st pick, I think a lot of people would chalk that up as a win with a ton of upside and open the door for a lot of things to happen. But maybe they sent us a sign that Emeka Egbuka ain't that high on their list. That he's a guy that they can look past. Maybe they already know too much about him. Who knows? You saw the news. I think everybody was just as shocked as me and you were. But your thoughts on Emeka Egbuka not going to dinner with the Steelers last night while others did?
Yeah, I certainly don't think he big-timed the Steelers and said, well, you don't have a quarterback, so I think I'm going to pass on the dinner. Thank you, but no thank you. The steak is not enough for me to talk to Mike Tomlin. No, I think, if anything, he probably had a prior engagement.
Probably. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'll let you keep going. But I have been. It's hilarious that. So again, like I go to dinner, like to go to dinner. I mean, like the Steelers and Mike Tomlin and Rooney and them, like invite certain media members to dinner a couple times a year, and very grateful for it. But you talk. You're BSing the whole time, having a good time, and you would be shocked at the amount of players that they tell you order chicken tenders and fries at steakhouses. You would be shocked. So just the craziest name. Biggest one I could remember, Odell Beckham Jr. OBJ. Yeah, I'll get some chicken tenders and fries. I bet you he doesn't order chicken tenders and fries anymore.
Listen, chicken tenders and fries is an elite meal.
Yeah,
but if I'm not paying for the meal, I'm getting a steak and then I'll get chicken tenders and fries from Chick-fil-A on the way home.
Yeah.
If somebody's paying for my food, I'm ordering the top steak on the menu.
100%. I think at some point Tomlin told me, and this is just like a very blurry memory, something like, you kind of got to watch what they order, but like, you can't look into it because, some guys will be like, yeah, I'll get a side of chocolate milk. And you're like, what? And you're like, I don't know, man. Just been doing it since I'm a kid. You're like, okay, steak and chocolate milk, disgusting, but sounds good. Yeah, chicken tenders, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'll let you keep going.
No, you're good. I mean, at the end of the day, it feels like even if they didn't take him out, which was a little bit astonishing when Jerry Dulac put that tweet out, I was like, you're missing a guy. You're missing somebody. This is still a guy that they've looked at very heavily throughout this entire process. And just because they didn't take him out to dinner doesn't rule him out from being an option on the Steelers board come the NFL draft. Again, all of this stuff, these meetings at the combine, these dinners before pro days, a lot of it's gamesmanship. Now, they want to get to know some of these guys, but at the same time, if Jerry Dulac puts out that the Steelers didn't meet with Emeka Egbuka, the Green Bay Packers at 23 might say, you know what? We like having as many wide receivers as humanly possible. They're under the age of 25. Steelers aren't going to take them, so we can just wait on it. We don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
And then the Steelers end up taking them. So I think I'm not reading too much into this. It was something, though, that caught me by surprise when I saw it earlier today.
I think I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still on their radar. I also wouldn't be surprised if, they really did offer, and he was like, oh man, dude, the Broncos already invited me. Like, not that they big timed him, but just that, he had prior engagements with somebody else, and Dulac might not know. But I agree with you. I don't think this rules anything out for me. I don't sit here and say, you didn't tell me you didn't. Kenny Pickett didn't even talk to them for like 3 months. They had no words with them. They said, oh, we invited him over and talked. No, they didn't. No, they did not. Nobody had any words with Kenny Pickett the entire time. They drafted him, and he said, who the hell's calling me from a 412 number? I'm trying to wait to be drafted here. And then realized, oh, that's Mike Tomlin. Never heard his voice before. Wild. That's they do that all the time. I mean, there are some guys that they fall in love with early. There are other guys that they really do try to play these mind games. Again, the NFL is all mind games. It's 100% mind games. This is a game at the end of the day, and it's a strategic game. And there's way more that goes into it. That, there's a reason that there's big, giant black tarps outside of UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. And anytime somebody pulls into the parking lot across the street, somebody's got to go kick them out and tell them, hey, you can't be here. Even if they're like, I don't even know what football is. What are you doing over there? You got to be like, you got to leave. You have to go as far away as humanly possible. This is interesting, but again, I'm not putting too much stock into it. I think Emeka Egbuka is still there, and I would not be shocked if he was the Steelers pick at 21. I would be a little shocked that he made it to 21, but anything could happen with this draft class and the way that everything seems to be shaping out as we move closer to April 27th, I think it's 27th.
Last week of April.
Yeah, sometime in there. The last Thursday of April.